Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bay, the #1 source for competitive Legends of Runeterra news and information. If you're looking for the best decks to play right now, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Master Runeterra or in our Discord. And if you want to take the next step in leveling up your game, check out our Runeterra team on Patreon, where we do weekly learning calls and one-on-one coaching. Now strap in and grab yourself some Poro snacks, because we are about to start Mastering Runeterra.
Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bay. My goodness, do we have a show for you today. Before we jump into that, though, we got to thank all of our patrons. Thank you guys so much. Seriously, we could not have made it this far without you guys. Your support lets us do all the awesome things, like make this show, all the awesome stuff we do in the Discord. It helped us build the website. And now we have come to a full new level. Something that I've wanted to see since I first started playing Runeterra about 1 year ago. I've basically been like working on this.
What has been?
Yeah, I started playing like almost exactly a year ago. And when I got into the scene, I'm a gamer. I want to play competitively, and I want to play for stakes. I want to play for stuff that matters. I want to play for some money. I want to play for some clout. And we, as of today, have finalized the MasteringRuneterra.com Championship Series, which is an $8,000 prize pool tournament series. That's right, 8,000. So we already put this up in the Discord, and a lot of people are bombarding us with questions. We will have a full announcement with all the details laid out, but what we can tell you, it's going to start on December the 12th. There's going to be 6 weekends of qualifiers. These will be $500 prize pool qualifiers, each one of them. The top 4 players from each of these qualifiers will qualify for the championship tournament. It'll be a $5,000 prize pool championship tournament that'll be held on the 29th and the 30th of January. After the top 4 people qualify from each qualifier, the rest of the entrants will receive points depending on their finish. And then after the 6 qualifiers, you'll take the 4 winners of each, which is 24 players. And then the 40 players that have the most points from those 6 qualifiers will also make it to the championship, which will have 64 players on day 1. We'll cut down to a top 8 that'll play off on day 2 for their share of the $5,000 prize pool.
It's pretty cool.
It's kind of cool. It's
all right, I guess. It's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine.
I'm
really excited about it.
I'm a little jealous I don't get to play in it, frankly.
Yeah,
it's like this is what I wanted for myself.
And you're just like, yeah. So what? Oh, he's got single combat. So what? What this guy's gonna try to do here? Just like playing on your phone as you're casting. No one will notice.
No one will know. Not Jay.
Yeah, you're just Fade Laurent and Boggy Bay.
Yeah. So slightly ironic that these are the tournaments that I want to play in, but they didn't exist, so had to make them ourselves.
I think that's how the best things come about, though. People who want something and they just make it, right?
Yeah, and obviously we're hoping that this builds into more tournaments like this. Please tell your friends, tell your family, sign up your dog, get everyone out here so that our friends over at communitygaming.io, who are the ones that are putting up the $8,000 prize pool, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out. Will continue to hopefully fund such tournaments, and other people also see, what a success this tournament series is obviously going to be, and find a reason to make other tournaments, to sponsor tournaments. Basically, we need to show up, show them that there's actually a want and a community that is here to play in these kind of tournaments, and that it makes financial sense for advertisers to throw down some money.
This is an open registration event, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so it is free to enter. All the qualifiers are free to enter, and then obviously you have to qualify. Yeah, anyone, you have to. It's going to be America's Shard, of course. Every Sunday, starting on the 12th.
And skipping Christmas weekend.
And skipping the 26th. Also, with some support from our friends over at Riot Games, we will have, I believe, some skins or boards to give away as well to some of the top competitors. They'll be helping us with some promotion as well. So be sure to watch their Twitter, our Discord. Anything else to say about it?
No, we're just really, really excited about it. This is the first, there's been leagues before. We're currently in one. We're in the Runeterra Academy team league, but this is something we've wanted from day one. We were talking about this when we first started talking, almost a year ago, which is crazy. Yeah. Absolutely wild.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we, for anyone that doesn't know, we've wanted this so badly that we put the first 3 months, all the money that we made in the first 3 months of our Patreon, into tournaments, into the community, the $2,000 tournaments, plus all the casting and support staff that we ran, because this is what we love. We love tournaments. We love you guys, the community. Fantastic. Your support and your help throughout the last year has let us get to this place. And yeah, it's freaking exciting. I can't wait for it to pop off. It's the first tournament series of this type. We've seen this in Magic. This is something that we're used to in Star City Games, Channel Fireball, even the Magic Organized Play had their own pro point system where you can qualify for a larger tournament by either banking a tournament, aka coming top 4, or having consistent results by being one of the top 40 point earners in this case. And
very
it's just
reminiscent of the Worlds format for Runeterra. That's
right. Yeah, point system will be a little bit different. We will have a full write-up on all the details and everything coming out on masterruneterra.com. It'll be tweeted out everywhere as well. We'll probably have that by Monday. So look out for that. Tell your friends, tell your family. You can come and sign up, come and play. Enjoy some Runeterra.
It's a good time.
And we have so much to talk about this podcast.
We have a lot to talk about. Yeah.
Next up, seasonals is tomorrow.
Oh, is it? I didn't notice.
Yeah. I don't know why you would have any reason to know that, other than the fact that you and What Am I are both playing in it with your beautiful 7-2 records, which I also had, but not good tiebreakers.
Pushing up on ladder and getting the 7-2 tiebreaker is like a cheat code.
It's absurd.
It's so good. It's so good. I believe this will be What Am I and myself's 5th top cut for both of us out of 7.
Do you know how many of them you went 7-2? I know one of my a few 7-2s.
I have. This is my second 7-2. Last seasonal, which I did not make top cut, I was 7-1 and dropped because I had to leave.
No, you weren't 7-1. I think you were 6-2 or something. 7-1?
7-1 and I dropped. I had a win in it at the last round and I dropped. I needed to win 1.
No, I didn't know it was that close. I thought you had 2 more rounds because it got stuck for forever.
I finished the last one. I think I tweeted out that I was at 6-1, probably have to drop, and then I won. It went 7-1 and I dropped.
Wow, you couldn't play that last one. Hey, you could just get on the phone.
I couldn't.
I
was in the theater watching Hamilton with my date, and I was yep.
Oh man, I would have for sure just had it like over to the side, just like, oh yeah, just side glance, just side glancing at it.
I get that, but like it's a theater, right? Like there's all these people around me, be like, hold on, I'm gonna play this card game, guys, for 30 minutes.
Just
or whatever.
in your, just in
Just
your
to get my jacket. Yeah. If I could have played it on like the ride there, then fine. But like the round,
Yeah.
the big problem was the delay. It was like there was like 2 hours worth of delays, right? So I was gonna finish the tournament and then go. But the problem was I was finishing the last round like right before we left, the second to last round, right before we left to go see the play. And then I was like, I can't start and play this entire round during this play. Not only like would that be a really shitty thing to do on my like date, right? Is that I just don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I'm here to enjoy this experience.
totally. Like
I was really excited and
you end up like losing, and then like you've ruined the play, and you've like bummed out.
yeah, it'd be awful. Be
It's
awful.
the worst.
And like there's always more seasonals, right? Real life comes first, in my opinion. So yeah, I've made 5 of 7 top cuts, and I would like to think I would have made the 6th
Yeah.
last season.
Well, long story short, I've gone 7-2 a bunch and not made top cut because I didn't have the tiebreakers. And also, I feel like I have to do it I didn't do it like the harder way. You guys are always like, you're like 5-2. You're like, win a couple more. You're like in. I'm like, I got 7-1 a couple times.
Yeah,
won the first game and like not been able to get there. 8-1 so goddamn hard.
I was
Anyways,
1 and 2 this time. 1 and 2.
You started 1 and 2.
I started 1 and 2.
How many no shows did you get?
0.
That's shocking.
I've never had a no show. I honestly think people see my name and decide to play. Like straight up.
That's
because
so.
Jason Sensational gets no shows at X and 1, and I've never had a no show in my life.
Yeah.
Maybe I've had like 1, but I think it was like round 1 of a seasonal or something.
Yeah, I've had that. And like the stories of people starting like 0-2 or something and getting 7.
Like Fresh Lobster went like 0-2 and got like, or not Fresh, it might have been like Glop or somebody, not Fresh Lobster. I think it was Glop. Went like 0-2, got like 5 straight free wins or something like that. Yeah, I actually think people see my name and decide to play.
That's wild. Anyways, what am I, Majid Bey, playing tomorrow? Very exciting. Yours truly will be casting what? If you haven't seen the announcements yet, I am the analyst along with just an all-star cast.
Yeah.
Casters, amazing host. So big day tomorrow for all of us. Super exciting. I'm super excited to watch you guys. Like, I mean, I'm normally rooting you on super hard, like from the Discord with the team. But now I get to do it with a bird's eye view. No pressure, but winner you're out of the family, classic style.
Wow. Okay.
Simpsons rules.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I understand.
No, I'll be rooting for you guys super, super hard. And I mean, you got your work cut out for you.
Stacked lineup.
It is a stacked lineup. This format is wild. It's pretty wide open. Like we do have some very powerful decks, but there's still a lot of ways to attack the meta, and there's like a real like rock paper scissors going on. All the decks are so intricate, or at least like a lot of them. And like even the ones that are a little more straightforward, like Plunder might be a little more straightforward, Thralls might be a little more straightforward, but there's still like a lot of interaction compared to like past formats. It's like the bar starts at like medium and then just goes through the freaking roof, where you very quickly get to like Lee Sin and what was the other deck I'm thinking of? The 10 mana Glorious Evolution, the Shellfolk decks.
Yeah.
Even like, and I mean, Darkness. The list goes on and on. Action Sivir, even like just most of the decks are like, there's a lot of play to them. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of room to maneuver, play mind games, to like bluff. It's a tough field, tough format. I think, at least. What do you think about it?
No, I totally agree. There's like 2 tier 0 decks, which is like Plunder and Zed Poppy Rally. And there's a lot of lineups that look to either beat or ban. Most lineups are looking to beat, ban them, or play them, right? And then I think the best tournament decks that aren't Poppy Rally and Plunder are Lee Sin and Turbo Thralls. maybe like Ziggs Poppy, but that's also Poppy. And I think we're going to see a ton of those decks. I think we're going to see a ton of Poppy Rally, a ton of Plunder, a ton of Lee, a ton of Thralls. And then I think the other decks that are going to be really popular are going to be like Sivir, maybe Scion, maybe some Darkness, like down there, right? Lurk. Those are like the tier 2s. Lee, Thralls are like the tier 1s. And then Poppy Rally Plunder are like the tier 0s in my head.
Yeah. But as soon as you get to this top 32, though, like that whole tier system,
It kind of goes out the window.
out the window, because you're not you are dealing with wide, but you're also not, because like Poppy and Plunder pin everything to so many lineups, and then you're able to just go like, grab 3 tier 3 decks, or like whatever would be on the ladder, and just like smash one of those decks just like through annihilation. Like the one player that went 9-0, like their lineup was Poppy, Zoe, Heimerdinger, Jace,
Victor, Heimerdinger, Jace,
Ionia, and like a Shellfolk deck.
The Glorious Evolution Shellfolk deck. It was pretty nuts.
Yeah, but which one? Obviously not the Poppy one. It was
the PNC one. It was like Fizz Vi. Yeah, it was Fizz Vi.
Fizz Vi. So like those 3 decks. So 2 of those. Well, Poppy Zoe wasn't even a deck. That's not a deck.
I still don't think it's very good. I don't know how they won so much with it.
And like Heimerdinger Jace, like that was like seemed like it was
it seemed not good
for
at
a
all.
second, and then
this build
nobody played that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fizz Vi Shellfolk, and like they went 9-0.
I believe the only 9-0 player.
I believe the only 9-0 player, because of the amount of people that started was a little bit less. And then you're like, come on, we're talking about tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Well, how about tier? Didn't even exist. Didn't even exist as a deck. Heimerdinger Jace was considered like tier 3, probably, maybe tier 2.
Yeah,
definitely not tier 1. Not on anyone's radar. And so we're coming in the top 32 now. There's also, people were on Lurk, people were on Scouts. There was a lot of variety. There was a lot of the top decks that you just mentioned for sure.
A lot of Scouts, actually. A lot of Scouts, a lot of Lurk. I totally get what you're saying. And for those of you who don't know, like the open rounds of seasonals, it's usually like in your best interest to play the best decks. The best decks with a good spread. You're not looking to target anything because people are going to bring wild stuff. They're going to bring whatever they want. But in top 32, it gets a lot more condensed what people are actually going to bring. So you end up with these very weird lineups that are looking to exploit other people's lineups, exploit weaknesses in the popular lineups, right? That's where you see things like the Freeze Reels come out, Tom Rocca, right? Those are like top 32 specials. Decks that lose hard to some things, but like crush things because you think you have a read on the meta, right? And you go for it. And then if you're right, you get paid off. And these seasonals are very top heavy with their pay, right? It's basically like nothing until you get to top 4. And it's not like real money until you hit first or second. So being wrong isn't really that big of a deal, but being right is like huge.
Totally. Yeah. So that's why this is going to be such a good seasonals, because the field is stacked, and then you have like these normal powerhouse decks. And then you have like all these other decks that can kind of target those decks. And the crazy thing is, even the decks like Plunder and Zoe Poppy are so damn good that even the decks that are specifically supposed to beat them often still lose to them. Yeah. It's wild. So we're going to have this like crazy wild west of players trying to level each other, just a whole mixed bag of different things. And then where things actually fall, like you might be like, yeah, I targeted Plunder, and like, boom, I got that Plunder matchup, and they round one, and they beat you. Yeah. Like it's no one knows. And so that whole like guessing game, that like it's not like, oh, like this person has the anti-Lee lineup, and like they have Lee, and like it's almost like done here. So that amount of guessing, the fact that it's so hard to target those decks, I think just makes it super exciting because you never know. So from a viewing experience, it's like it's anyone's game. And so you take a bunch of the top players that are going to play really intricate, fun, exciting games where anyone can win for a bunch of money and the clout. What more do you want? I'm super hyped for it.
Very excited. All right, so I figured we'd talk about the new cards a bit. There has been some spoilers as of today. Pantheon is spoiled, Pantheon and Kennen, obviously. So I figured we'd go through what has been spoiled and just do like a quick hits. What we think about the card. Is it competitively viable? What kind of things would like want to play this if it is competitively viable? Or maybe there are some cards that I'm like, oh, this card could be really good, but I think it needs this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot of those.
Figured we'd go into that. So starting from the bottom, Grumble Slug. This is a Twitter favorite. A 2-mana 2/3 Attune, Vandal City Bilgewater. What do you think about this guy?
I mean, by itself, it's not super impressive. But it could be a role player in a deck like a Nami that wants something like this. But overall, I don't think this really makes the cut.
No, like Attune units are just not good unless they also do something else. That's been like the standard, right? Otherwise, we'd be playing the 2/1 with Attune, but no one does.
I know what that card is.
There's a 2/1 for 1 with Attune. That's the whole card.
Is it the one that deals damage and gets?
No,
that's
it's just a 2/1 with Attune for 1 mana.
Oh, I see.
It looks like a cannon. It's called like Shell Shock or something.
Oh, right. Of course,
Yeah, that card sucks.
Yeah.
There's a 3-mana 4/3 with Attune.
Yeah,
but no one's gonna play that, right?
They're just not great. Even like what was the blue, the one that got played in Dragons that made, like when it died, it made a lamp.
Oh, the 2/3 Blue Sentinel. Yeah, it's
Blue Sentinel. Yeah, and like that thing seemed like it might be good, and then it was just like nah.
And it just wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bar's pretty high. I'm like,
power creep's real.
Cards. Yeah,
power creep is real.
It really is, especially in like Vandal City. You gonna play this over Concologist? No, you're not. No, you aren't.
No.
Yeah. Hell no.
Okay.
That's like my thing right now. It's like I look at a 2-mana 2/2 or a 2-mana 3/3. I'm like, am I gonna play this over Concologist? Nope.
Well, Concologist is the nuts.
It's so good. It's so good. All right, so let's move on from that one. That gets a big thumbs down, I think, from both of us. This one spawned some serious discourse. People were not happy. 4-mana, Yordle Captain, Vandal City, a 4/4. When you summon another ally with equal or less power than me, grant it +1/+1.
I think it's bad.
Yeah, it's a bad card.
I want it to be good, okay? Everyone out there that doesn't agree with us, I want it to be good. I do. It's just not.
It's not
okay.
Good.
Like I don't know what to tell you. It's not good. Like you can make some cute decks with it for sure, and every now and then you can do something real bonkers and powerful with it, but it's just not good.
So the only time this is good, it does nothing on play. It's decently sized, but it's not like insane, right? And it does nothing on play. So let's look at a situation where this is good. It's when you play it, your opponent doesn't kill it, and you get to play a lot of dudes, right? And they can't kill it. That's pretty good. But let's substitute any of the other 4-drops in Vandal City. Poppy, you play her, your opponent can't kill her, you play dudes, and you attack.
They die.
And they die. Lecturing Yordle. You get to ping away their dudes, they can't kill it, and you kill
and they die.
Their stuff, and they die. It's like its best case scenario is so much. I mean, its worst case scenario is so, or its average scenario is so much worse than those other 4-drops it's directly competing with. And its best case scenario is not any better.
Yeah. Worlds of difference. I'm trying to think of like some like, you know, you have to combo it with like one of the cards from Shadow Isles that makes like 2 or 3 token
like
things.
Haunted Relic or whatever, but that's not good.
Remember the last time those decks with those cards were good? Yeah,
Grand Plaza.
Grand Plaza.
Yeah. That was actually like really good. That was really strong. For like a week.
Even then, those weren't even the best Grand Plaza decks.
No, they weren't. But it was cool. Actually,
no,
fun. I hated Grand Plaza. When that card was like pre-nerf Grand Plaza, where it gave +1/+1, that was so stupid.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, moving on.
Minion, 2-mana, Vandal City Shadow Isles, 2/1. Last breath, create a copy of me in hand at round end. This is the spellcaster minion from League.
Yeah, which I didn't realize at first, and I absolutely love. I think that's really cool. I'm not even a huge League guy like you are. Did you like that when you saw it?
Yeah. I was like, hey, look, I know this guy. Yeah,
I think it's adorable. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
As a card though, very average.
Yeah.
You know, again, another card I really want to be good, and there could definitely be decks out there and metas out there where this card ends up being a role player. But it's a lot along the lines of, what's the 2/1 for 2 that draws your card? Avarosian Sentry. And that's a card that even like we play because we have to. Like, how many times have you been like, I just don't even want this, but it's like you kind of like have to have some early game.
That's like, that card's like strictly better. Not strictly better, but the majority of time is way better. Yeah,
I would say it's strictly better.
Yeah, well, the thing is like, yeah, minion continues to come back, but like by turn 5 or 6, your 2/1 doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
You're
have
gonna invest 2 mana every turn into a 2/1 deal.
Yeah.
Like, I would love for you to do that.
Yeah,
just I think it's the best of the 3. This is the first release. Yordle Captain, Grumble Slug, Minion. I think Minion is the best of the 3 cards. I don't think it's very good.
Yeah. The only way I see this seeing play is in a Shadow Isles deck, because again, Bandle City has better options. And so, like, in a Shadow Isles deck, that's going to try and abuse it, and also just need some early game, some board presence.
Some blockers. I saw so many posts on Twitter and Reddit from some large names about Yordle Captain. Oh man, people really think this is people think this is worse than Poppy.
Worse than Poppy?
Like, worse for the format because it's too good.
I see. I was like, it is worse than Poppy.
Yeah, because the card sucks. Yeah. I think there's like 2 camps. There's people who are just like going, oh my god, everything gets +1/+1. What if you also play Poppy? This is busted. And then everyone who goes, oh yeah, if I can't kill their 4-drop or like do something more powerful, I'm just gonna lose anyway. So like, why is this good? Right? We'll see.
Yeah.
What if we're wrong? What if it's insane?
I'd love to be wrong, because frankly, who cares? It doesn't even matter. Like, they're like, oh, I got it right. I was the one person that thought Zoe would be good. It's like, who?
That's me.
No one.
I do that.
No one remembers. No one remembers. No one cares. And that's one of the reasons it's like beneficial for creators and people that are trying to chase that clout to do these hot takes. Because like, no one remembers.
They get clicks and no one cares if you're wrong.
Set comes, everyone's like, oh, they think Yordle Captain's busted, or they think Yordle Captain's terrible, or whatever the case may be. And then the set comes out and everyone starts playing and nobody remembers who said what, and like, it just all washes itself out. No one cares.
I feel like my reviews and reactions to new cards are so boring because 95% of the time I say, this card won't see play. This card won't see play. This card won't see play.
You're right. 95% of the time, your 95% is right.
Yes, which sucks. But yeah, I mean, Yordle Captain is a kind of effect that like I personally don't like to deal with. But I don't like to play against decks that are all about just like buffing up an entire board. Like, I hate playing against Bannerman. I just think it's boring. I want to play with spells, and I want my opponent to play with spells, so we both get to do cool spell things. So I wouldn't like this card to be very good, but it's no worse than anything else. Like, it's whatever. Card's not.
Anywho, moving on.
That was a rant. Moving on. This card I think is actually really cool. This is 2 mana 2/2 Gust Monk from Bandle City. When I'm summoned, create a Cloud Stance in hand. Cloud Stance is a 1 mana burst spell. Give an ally +2/+0, and round end, recall me this round.
Yeah. I think this card ends up being quite good in whatever this recall deck ends up being.
Yeah. I think the floor on this card is really solid. A 2 mana 2/2 that gives you a 1 mana burst +2/+0. Like, a 1 mana burst +2/+0 is really annoying for your opponent to just always have.
Yeah.
Most of the time you don't even cast it. You just hold it, and then it screws their blocks up, especially if you have quick attack units.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see the rest of the archetype. We've seen the Bandle City cards, right, with Kennen. But I'm assuming, and I feel a lot of other people are assuming, that Ahri and the Ionia cards are going to be meant to play with Kennen, kind of like Vhagar Senna is my comparison. And so I'm really excited to see if the Ionia cards are. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I think this is
But
a
yeah,
good card. I like it.
There's a lot of stuff you could do with Cloud Stance. Anything that's a 2/2 for 2 and it like generates something.
Good.
Yeah,
Passes the
typically like
it's
decent.
It's not better than Concologist in a vacuum. It could be better than Concologist in a deck that wants to bounce cheap things.
Yeah, this is going to be a role player in that deck.
Yes,
and that's why you'll play it.
Yeah. Moving on, Tornado Warrior, the other 2-mana 2/2 from Bandle City. When I'm summoned, grant me +1/+0 and a random keyword. So on its first summon, 3/2 random keyword. I keep these stat buffs and keywords when I'm recalled. What do you think about this guy?
Yeah, so this card doesn't strike me as particularly powerful. It's a 3/2 for 2 with a random keyword, which is just like
Not good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen Victor enough to know it's mostly not good.
Right, and then you have to, imagine you bring it back and play it out like 2 more times. It's a 5/2
with impact,
with
overwhelm,
like some impact,
something,
overwhelm, spell shield. Like, okay, I'm blocking my 2/2.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems like you do a whole bunch of work and you just never know what you're gonna get. If you do want a 3/2 for 2 though, which maybe this deck or one of these decks will want, then sure. Well, I got 3/2 for 2 is nothing to thumb. It's fine. It's a guy. Yeah, I'll beat down.
It's just it requires work to be good. It requires work to be better than what I want out of a 2-mana card that doesn't give me value. Right? Like Mountain Goat for me is probably the pinnacle of 3/2s for 2. I play it, it doesn't immediately do anything, but it generates me advantage. Twisted Catalyzer, right? Stuff like that.
And how much play does Goat see these days?
None. We're gonna get to that because I think Goat's about to make a huge comeback.
I know.
And so this just ain't it. And then when you look at like, you have to, in order to like increase, people are thinking of these scenarios. Oh yeah, but if I just bounce every turn, it gets huge. And like, yes, you're right. But are you really gonna bounce every turn? Are you gonna use another card to give this card +1/+0 and a random keyword? Another card at like 3 mana at the least? No. That's terrible.
Yeah, I think you only play this if you, for some reason, need a 3/2 for 2 to fill out your curve.
Yeah, there's got to be better options. Just play Concologist. Just play Concologist. Yeah. All right, moving on. This card is cool.
Yeah, it's
Quicken. 2-mana fast spell. Bandle City. Recall a unit with 3 or less power.
Very, very powerful. Some of the things, so people talk about hitting a Thresh. That's cool. One of the things I like is that this is an answer to Zoe getting away from you, because I noticed a lot of Bandle City decks.
You're right.
Bandle City decks have a lot of, you don't want to mini morph a freaking Zoe, right? That's so annoying. Paying 6 mana for their 1-drop. Here it is. They get up to 6 or 7 or whatever it is, and boop, just bounce it, reset it.
An Eye of the Dragon for a turn.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of really good. I didn't think of the Zoe thing. That's really good. Yeah.
And then you can point it at your own units, which you'll probably do a lot in the recall deck as well. You could block and then recall it back to your hand, get the effects, play it back out, save it from removal. Very versatile spell. 2 mana is.
Yeah, you can bounce your Tornado Warrior and then replay it to give it +1/+0.
Woo! I didn't even think about that.
Wow. Yeah, that card's bad. But Quicken is sick. Very excited about Quicken. I was talking to Darkodius about how we'd really like a Delver type strategy in Runeterra. For those of you who don't know, Delver is a tempo-based strategy in Magic the Gathering where you play a very low creature count. And so you play these threats that are very efficient, and then you look to protect them and keep your opponent off balance to win the game with spells. And Quicken is a spell like that.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I like these things. I also like things that let me bounce my own stuff, or that let anything that gives me the flexibility to also target my own units is just much more exciting to me.
Yeah, there's so many champs that have 3 or less power. Like this card's gonna see a lot of play.
That card's really cool. Moving on, Thunder Fist, another Bandle City card. Impact 2/3 for 3. What are you giggling at over there?
I don't know. Just for some reason you say Thunder Fist. Correct?
Thunder Fist. When I'm summoned, if you summon a Thunder Fist this game, transform me into Masa Crashing Thunder. This is a 3-mana 5/4 Impact.
Yeah, so I think this card is not very good. It's not the worst, though. Impact has shown itself to be a pretty strong mechanic. I often underestimate Impact, because really this is like kind of like a 3/3 for 3. The thing is, though, best case scenario is you go turn 2 Thunder Fist, turn 3 Thunder Fist, turn 4 Thunder Fist, or you bounce it and replay it.
Retreat, return it.
Yeah, and then it becomes a Massive Crushing Thunder, which is a 5/4 impact for 3. The thing is, you've now invested at least 6 mana.
And 2 cards.
And so the first, if I'm reading this correctly, if you go Thunder Fist, does the first one turn into a Massa or no?
No, just a second.
Just a second. See, it would be a lot different if you could go Thunder Fist, and they both turn into Massa.
Like
now we're talking.
Yeah, like the 1/2 elusive.
Yes.
PNC.
Yeah, the gang or the squad or whatever, right?
Yeah, whatever it is,
yeah. Yeah. But what's going to end up happening a lot of the time is you're going to go turn 3 or turn 4, turn 5, Thunder Fist, and then just not a whole lot else. Or turn 5 or 6 or 7, make a Massa, or just never.
Or just and even even if you do, it's just not that good.
Yeah, turn 4, 5/4 impact sounds good, but you've just tapped out both of your turns, and your other thing is a 2/3.
And then I kill you.
Yeah.
It's just not good. It's just not good. It's expedition card, in my opinion.
It really needed to flip both of them. If that, I don't think that would have made it too broken.
No. If it was a 3/3 to start with and it flipped both, then you have a real card on your phase 1, I guess. If Thunder Fist is a 3/3 and then it flips both, then maybe. But yeah, 5/4 is a 5/4 no relevant, impact's relevant keyword, but when I say relevant keyword, I mean tough, quick attack,
elusive,
overwhelm, elusive, these keywords that allow you to attack unimpeded, where your Masa is just gonna get blocked.
Yeah. Next up.
Oh, all right. We got the spicy stuff coming. We have our boy Kennen, the 1 mana 2/1 quick attack, Bandle City, Ionia. When I'm summoned, create a Mark of the Storm in hand. Mark of the Storm is a 0 mana fast fleeting card. Grant an enemy Mark of the Storm. If they already have it, remove the mark to stun and deal 2 to them instead. His level up condition, I forgot. I'm just going to go over the entire card. His level up condition is you've summoned the same ally 5+ times this game. Of course, the obvious one is Kennen, right? But any unit with the same name, if you summon 2 mountain goats, you're 2 of 5. The big ones that popped out to me immediately are Dragonlings, Sand Soldiers, which is probably bad, Blades, which is probably bad, Spiders, which is probably bad, Mist Rays, which is probably bad, and then Otterpuss. Because you have Otterpuss, Trinket Trades. Maybe you could do, you bounce them, they have a tune, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So what do you think of Kennen? I really don't know what to make of them. A 1 mana 2/1 quick attack is
very
not
good.
bad.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Irrelevant as the game goes on. Irrelevant past turn 3 with those stats, right?
Yeah.
But you get to attack on turn 1 and 2. So
maybe not totally irrelevant then.
No,
because
no.
We've seen with Ionia, Demacia type decks, you got a lot of pump
you
spells. It's dangerous to block.
I think Kennen is pretty solid. And what sold me is that first of all, you get the 1 Mark of the Storm when he's summoned, right? And then you don't get another one until after he's leveled. Once he's leveled,
the first one does nothing. You would have to bounce him back to your hand, play him back out, and then get another Mark of the Storm. Okay.
But Mark of the Mark of the Storm grants Mark of the Storm, right? And then the second one removes it. But you can grant Mark of the Storm on a turn and then remove it with another Mark of the Storm later in the game.
Right. I forgot that it stuns and deals too.
It stuns and deals too.
That's not bad.
Stun
and a deal too.
His level up's pretty powerful. 1 mana 3/2 quick attack. Very good stats. These are Zed pre-level stats. Very strong. When I'm summoned, blocked, or attack, summon blocked, not when I block. I read that wrong. or attack, create a Mark of the Storm in hand. So you start getting a lot of Mark of the Storms with Kennen after.
Yeah, you could theoretically get 3 from like playing a Kennen, get a Mark of the Storm, attack, get a Mark of the Storm, they block it, get a Mark of the Storm.
Yeah. Now, here's some things I want to talk about, because I think people approach rating cards incorrectly most of the time, or at least with a little bit of like flawed reasoning. Most of the lists and people discussing Kennen I've seen are so all in on leveling Kennen. They make these decks and these ideas where it's so easy to level Kennen, you can do it every single game. But here's the problem: is Kennen's level up will not win you the game. It's not so easy. It's good. It's quite good. But if your deck's all in on leveling Kennen, what are you going to do after?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bounce
Like,
them a bunch.
You bounce them a bunch. And Mark of the Storm's cool, but like, it's not that good. Some things I have seen. This is where I think the Ahri Ionia package will come in, by the way. I think Ahri will also have to do with self-recall. And I think there we will see the payoff cards. Because these are the enablers, and you get slight payoffs within the enablers, right? But we have yet to see, why should I do this? Right? Like, I'm jumping through all these hoops. Why? And I think once we see Ionia, then we will find out why. At least that's what I'm hoping. Some cool things, though, that I've thought about is Ezreal. Mark of the Storm targets Ezreal with Ezreal.
Oh, the leveled. Okay, yeah.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's cute. Is it good? Probably not, but it's cute. It's fun. I'll probably build it. Yeah, so I think Kennen is strong, but there has to be a reason for me to do these things. And right now we don't have one.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how all the pieces come together, because there's a little bit of bounce your own stuff. There's a little bit of target their stuff. There's also the cards we're going to talk about in a second here that have faded, where when you target your own stuff, they get pumped up. So there's like a lot of potential.
Yeah, there's a couple more like Kennen cards we have to go over first. But yeah, I totally agree. A lot of potential. We just have to see if it pays off.
Yeah, and I think you're totally right. It'll be things like just like Deep or Lurk, any of those ones where it came with like multiple champions that kind of go together. And if you only had one of the champions, the deck would really not be good.
Yeah. So Kennen's champion spell is Lightning Rush. 3 mana, fast spell. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card. Recall an ally to deal 2 damage to anything. So it's a Mystic Shot on top of recalling an ally. I think this card is a fantastic champion spell, a less strong main deck spell. Because if I have Kennen on the field, what I really want is to be able to bounce him in a possibly tempo positive way, right? Like maybe they try to shoot Kennen and you have a second Kennen in hand, you get to cast Kennen's Lightning Rush. Then you get to pick up Kennen, play him again, get another mark, you deal 2 to something. Like, that's really good. I'm not sure I want to main deck this card, depending on what we see that supports the archetype, right?
Yeah, so it's not Mystic Shot, because it costs 3.
It costs 3. Yeah. Its effect is Mystic Shot.
And then also, if you kill the unit in response, I assume it cancels it?
Yes, it is recall an ally to do 2. It's not and, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that opens it up to the whole like fervor kind of thing where, if you want to bounce your cheap stuff, and those are typically the ones that are easier to target with removal spells.
But I like these. I like these cards that create like layers. It's like, oh, well, I could play this.
It's versatile, right? The card's very versatile. It does
and there's play against it, right? Like, oh, I kill their thing, but then they know that I could kill their thing in response. So maybe they bounce the suboptimal unit because I can't Vile Feast it or whatever, right? Like, and I like that. I really like those things.
Yeah, no, I like this card as well. And I could definitely seeing some main deck play, maybe as a 1 or 2 of possibly.
Yeah. It's a cool card.
Yeah.
Moving on. Ember Monk, 4 mana, 3/3 from Bandle City, our favorite slot in our favorite region. It's hard to compete in the 4 mana slot in Bandle City right now. Quick attack. When you summon another ally, grant me +1/+0.
It seems like a great draft card.
Yeah, right? It's fantastic in Expedition. I'm never putting this in a deck.
Yeah. This card just doesn't do much.
No, it doesn't do much at all. You play it as a 3/3 for 4. That's not great. And then, next turn you can attack for 5 with it.
Yep.
You know what else attacks for 5? Poppy.
Immediately.
Yeah, right now. Just not enough. It's just not good enough. This card I think is interesting, and it's got really funny artwork. Risu, the Silent Storm, a 5-mana 1/1. When I'm summoned, summon a Stormcloud. This is from Vandal City. And Stormcloud is a 5-mana 7/3 with impact. What do you think about this guy?
Very interesting. So this is another one of those cards that's going to try and pay you off for bouncing it. So you can play Rizu, get yourself a Stormcloud, bounce Rizu back to your hand, play Rizu again, get another Stormcloud, and on you go. But it is extremely mana intensive. You're just paying 5 mana every single turn. You do get 8/4 worth of stats with one of them having impact, which is not nothing. But
Overwhelm, this is not, unfortunately.
yeah, not overwhelmed, not elusive. 3 toughness, not overly difficult for, just anything to jump in front of or a lot of removal spells to deal with. If this was like a 7/7 or something that you got off the Stormcloud, it was like 7/5, 7/6, 7/7, had a big butt on it, and was just like hard to deal with. And then you can just make a bunch of them, and they just go.
Well, it'd just be the best 5-drop in the game, though, if you just spawned a 7/7 for 5 mana, right? If Stormcloud was a 7/4 with Overwhelm, this card would be insane.
Yeah,
insane. I brought this up on my stream when I was reviewing these cards. Is that there is currently in Runeterra, outside of Chronicler of Ruin, I think, no flicker effects. Right, and by flicker effects, I mean things that essentially remove them from the field and then put them back on without you having to recast it. So like Chronicler of Ruin, it kills it and then immediately puts it back on the field. That's a flicker effect. Everything in Runeterra right now is a bounce effect, meaning you have to replay it. Risu is a card that wants to be flickered, not bounced.
Yeah, you want to remove it, you want to exile it and then have it return to play, not go back to your hand and then recast it. Yeah, that's a good point. So what is the one that does exist?
Chronicler of Ruin, the 4-mana 3/3 from Shadow Isles. That's like sacrifice a unit, summon it again. Yeah, really cool card. It's actually one of my favorite cards.
It's a pretty dope card.
Yeah. So Risu potential, not so good right now. I think it would need a flicker effect to like be good enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, impact on Stormcloud instead of Overwhelm is like really brutal. It really wants Overwhelm. Because it's just getting blocked by my Mountain Goat.
Yep.
Or my Otterpuss. I'll take one.
Or by my Tornado Warrior.
Oh, yeah. Our 3/2 with 1 keyword. Let's go. Card just immediately bumped up 2 tiers. It blocks Stormcloud. Next up is a Targon spell. Ooh. Burst, 3 mana. Give 2 allies +1/+2 this round.
I like this card.
Mm-hmm.
How good it'll be, I don't know. I could see it being like a 1 or 2 of in one of these faded decks because it triggers 2 of your creatures. But +1/+2 is not super exciting. Like that's like +2/+1. Like now we're talking.
That's way better.
Because now you're like dealing 4 damage. For 3 mana. That's cool.
I do think we have to talk about faded real quick to really give a good. So new faded keyword is the new keyword. I believe it's a Targon keyword, like just Targon, which it makes sense. And basically what it is the first time you target, is it this ally or is it an ally with faded? Because that's important.
I think it's this ally.
I also think it's this ally, but if it's not, that's very different. So let's just say you target, while you do the research, I'll talk about it. The first time you target this ally this turn or each turn, it gains +1/+1 forever. You grant it +1/+1. So if you slap a gem on something, instead of getting +1/+0, it now gets +2/+1, which stacks and is really quite good, especially when you look at some of the units we have, like the new Dragon, a 3-mana 2/4 Targon, Wounded White Flame, Fury, and Faded. So if you slap a gem onto Wounded White Flame, instead of becoming a 3/4, it becomes a 4/5 with Fury for 3 mana, which is really nuts. And honestly, not that absurd. You just like pass on 1, play Goat on 2, do something with it, and then gem this thing on 3. You just play it and gem it, and boom, you have a huge body.
Yeah, so Faded says the first time each round an ally card targets me, grant me +1/+1.
Okay, so you could do it with all your Faded units. That's definitely better. I think this Faded keyword is single-handedly going to bring Mountain Goat back into the meta.
Yeah, because
yeah,
gems are just like
gems are
one of the
just
ideal
best possible. Yeah.
Anything that costs 0 or 1. At first I didn't realize that Faded was only once per turn, which is a big downside for me.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
The
You're like buying Mentor of the Stone stock, like as we speak.
Yeah, the Magic comparison champion, I think let you do it multiple times.
Yes,
or
yeah,
it
was pretty
right?
busted, honestly.
Yeah, it was pretty busted.
Pretty
and so that's what I thought we were looking at here, and I was all like, I was getting ready.
Do some degenerate stuff here.
Yeah, whereas once a turn, I'm a little less excited about. I think there will be a deck. I think it'll be fine. Well, it's probably either going to be bad or busted. There's probably not a lot of middle room. I don't know. It could just be like another lurk type situation where it's like,
I think it's going to be good. And Faded is the type of keyword that only ever gets better. Right.
True. Yeah, that's typically how these keywords work. Where just more and more spells get made that activate them until there's just like a whole bunch of them cost a critical mass of them cost 0 or 1, and you're able to just like blow people out by making your guys ridiculously large super fast. And probably like you might use something like Ghost or something, give them elusive also, and pump them.
Yeah, something to keep an eye out for is a unit with Faded that has Overwhelm or elusive. Currently we don't have one, but if we do see one in the future, or an easy way to give some evasive keyword like that, right? So I think Wounded White Flame's quite good. The dragon. Also, I think that my camera is not in focus, which is really annoying. But yeah, what do you think about the dragon?
Yeah, I agree. I like the dragon. Again, I don't think it's busted, but I think it's fine, totally fine. And I think it might end up being a lot better than the Saga Seeker, which I want to be good, but takes quite a bit of work to get up to some respectable stats.
I think once you put one thing on Saga Seeker, it's good. I think
Saga Seeker?
It's a 1/2 for 1.
Yeah, it is a 1/2 for 1. Listen to the words coming
Jagged Butcher's really good.
What are you talking about? You're like, put one thing on it. It's like it's a 2/3 for 1.
Well, I'm always assuming the thing is gem in my head. So if I put a gem on it, it's a 3/3.
But it's a 3/3 on turn like 3.
Yeah, and for 2 mana, it's not that great. I don't think Saga Seeker is really the business. This is an archetype that wishes Sparklefly didn't get nerfed. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
So we stand together if we see more Faded support, because there's only like 2 cards with Faded right now.
Currently, yes.
Yeah.
3. Pantheon
has Faded. You're right. Yeah. Okay, so there's 3 cards with Faded. Pantheon, by the way, I think it's nuts, but we'll get to that in a second. And so like we stand together. If there was like 5 good Faded cards, we stand together, it gets really good.
Yeah, and I assume there will be.
Yeah. But currently there's not. So let's move on. Blinded Mystic, a 4 mana. These are all Targon cards, by the way. Play, grant an ally +1/+1 and silence an enemy follower. It's a 3/2.
I really like this card. I don't know if it'll see a ton of play, but I assume it can target itself, right?
Enemy follower.
But it says grant an ally.
I don't think so. No, it's on play. That was my first question. I was like, same with Ayula, who we're going to cover next. I was like, can I target my own? Can I target like that unit? I think it's no.
Really interesting. Okay, well that makes it a little bit worse. But like,
otherwise,
imagine it.
Floor is a 4/3. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a 4/3 that silences an enemy thing. That's pretty hot.
Yeah, not for a turn, it's forever, which is really good.
It is still 4/3 worth of stats. And it silences an enemy follower. 4 mana is quite a bit.
There's a meta where this is really good. I don't think we're in it.
Yes. 100% agree. Like, look at Hush right now, right? Barely sees any play. Barely even want it in your decks. But there's been metas where Hush was the card.
Yeah.
Where Hush was too good, they had to nerf it.
Yep. If you could play Equinox in your main deck, you would have. Like there was metas like that. There just isn't one like that right now.
Yeah, and to be fair, Hush can hit champions, which makes it a little worse. But
the only reason why it's seeing any play.
Yeah, but like you say, Equinox, there's lots of decks where you're just like, I gotta find an Equinox. Mm-hmm. So yeah, again, I think it's gonna be a fringe. You'll see fringe play.
Yeah,
they'll come and go probably.
It reminds me of Targon's version of the Shurima guy that blows up a landmark. Desert Naturalist.
Yes.
This is like Targon's Desert Naturalist.
That's exactly what I thought of as well.
Yeah.
Also with Faded, if Faded becomes a thing that you need to beat, like
Blind Mystic could be good, yeah.
There you go.
A lot of hype around this next card. Eula, something like that. 3 mana, 3/3 Targon play. Give an ally spell shield and overwhelm this round. I think this card is very much not that good.
I think it's bad. I was gonna say, what do you people are hyped?
No, there's tons of hype about it. I've been asked about this card more than I've been asked about Pantheon.
Yeah, well, if it said Grant, we would have a different
that would be a different conversation. Yeah.
Then I would be on this train and we would be like chewing all the way home. But Give is like it might as well just I'm just like, okay, I'll kill your thing next turn. Like, but like what do you do? Are you playing this on curve on 3 to give like your little dinky dude overwhelming spell shield that's just gonna run into their little dinky dude?
Your Saga
playing this?
It triggers Faded. What more do you want?
Oh, you know what? That's not terrible.
No, that's not.
Triggering Fable is not terrible, but again, it's not super hot and exciting.
You gonna play this over Solari Priestess? No.
So if the Faded deck does need it, then okay, sure, fine. It could see playing that one deck, but other than that, and even that, I don't know. But other than that,
I'd rather play Zenith Blade.
Yeah, are you playing this on like turn 8 to hit your 7 drop? Also, it doesn't go on the stack, right?
No, it just immediately happens.
It's got ... Okay, well that's good because otherwise it'd be real bad.
It'd be horrible. Yeah, just respond. Yeah. Mystic shot your guy.
This is a card that I would play in draft. Like this is a limited card
because it's a 3/3.
Because it's a 3/3 for 3 that like kind of does stuff sometimes. Yeah.
This card ain't it. Like you said though, I think if Faded is insane, then maybe, but I'd still probably rather play Zenith Blade. Moving on, Saga Seeker, 1 mana, 1/2, Faded. Yeah, you're right. It's not good enough. Are there mana spells that target your stuff in Legend of Runeterra?
Yeah, but it's
Faded Memories.
Axes.
The Shadow Isles card that makes a fleeting copy. Axes, yeah.
There's the treasure seeker finder things. What are those called? The 5/5 bruiser makes.
Oh,
stuff.
Yeah. Shurima Targon is probably where Faded would start.
Ends up.
Yeah. Like that one makes the most sense. You get very strong pump spells. You could play like Sivir, Akshan, probably Akshan, because he wants you to target your allies as well.
Yeah, there you go.
If you want to play Faded though, you need more Faded cards. There's 3.
And Saga Seeker's really not that interesting.
And Saga Seeker's not that good.
Give it I hate that they give everything quick attack. Give this thing quick attack.
Oh my, that'd be annoying.
It needs something.
It'd be Sparring Student like 2.0.
Probably, yeah. It'd be unblockable, right?
This.
You could just never block it.
It'd be so big.
Shot it. It's fine.
No, it gets +1/+1.
Oh yeah, you never kill it.
Yeah. Moving on. It's okay. It needs help. Against the odds, 3 mana focus speed, that's gem speed. If your opponent has more units than you, grant an ally +1/+1 for each extra unit they have. So if you have the same amount of units, it just doesn't do anything.
This card's terrible.
This card is not good.
It's so bad.
Mono Fiora, baby.
Oh, I get it now. It triggers Faded.
Woo! That was a joke. Yeah, not good enough.
Moving on.
Freed Colossus. I almost read it as Fried Colossus. 5 mana, 4/5, which is slightly under the stats you really want to hit for 5, but that's fine. When I'm summon or attack, create a gem in hand. I don't want to play this card.
This card's bad.
Moving on. Okay, so I saw this card art in the name.
Hold on, real quick.
Okay.
I want, for anyone out there thinking why, I want Freed Colossus to be good. Gems are awesome. Getting them is fun. a 5-mana 4/5 that then gets you gems is just it's too slow. It's not doing enough. You need to be much more mana efficient than that.
Yep. It's also not good to put gems on. There's no relevant keyword. Okay, so I saw this art and the name, and I was like, hell yeah. This card is 6 mana, 5/4, Camphor the Doubt. Sick ass name.
The Doubt?
The Doubt. I don't even know what that means, but it's cool. But it's provocative. Gets the people going. When I'm summoned, if you targeted allies 6+ times this game, grant me Spell Shield, Overwhelm, and Challenger. So I read these right when I wake up. I wake up, I go on Twitter, I open them up, and I do this. Well, I try to read it, right? Because my eyes are still like asleep, so I usually have to read something a couple times. I read this card 5 times, trying to figure out how, even after you fulfill the condition, it attacks without dying.
That's Challenger.
Yeah. Sick.
You just grab their
I was like, is there a quick attack? Is there faded? Is there? No, there's not. Okay. It's 6 mana. Would you pay 6 mana for a Spell Shield, Overwhelm, Challenger 5/4?
Probably.
What?
Yeah.
What about
if it just came like that? Like that kind of like
mana?
The Spell Shield, Overwhelm, Challenger, that's a lot. Like
yeah, that's a lot of keywords. You'd have to buff it up, but like, first of all, it doesn't just come like that, right?
Yes, no,
You
that's
gotta
different.
build it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if it came like that, I would play it. It does
but
not come like that, and you have to spend a lot of resources.
I don't even think I would play it, even if it came like that.
Bro, Spell Shield, Overwhelm, Challenger is pretty dumb.
6 mana is pretty bad, bro. Like, what's that Bando City card that's 6 mana? The really good one. It's 4/6. Spell Shellfolk. Shellfolk 6 mana. 6 mana 4/6. It wins you the game.
That's his law play.
This card can't attack.
This wins you the game also. Eventually.
What games are you playing?
Games where my opponent only plays out Eyes and Zoe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, their only cards are Zoe's and Eye of the Dragons. Yeah, not a good card, unfortunately, which sucks. This card needs like a lot more stats.
It kills Poppy and then dies.
It dies. And it doesn't because they cast Sharp Sight.
Two turns after Poppy came down.
All right, let's talk about one of, if not the most exciting card revealed so far.
Okay.
Pantheon. So Pantheon is Targon, 4 mana 4/2, Overwhelm, Barrier, Faded. Those are some keywords.
Yeah. I'm suspicious that Pantheon's not actually good.
You think so?
Yeah. So let's go. So let's move on. So if you've targeted allies in 5 different rounds, level him up, and then he becomes a 5/3. He says, "When I'm summoned or level up, grant me a random keyword for each round you've targeted allies this game," which would be at least 5 keywords.
Yeah.
Which is a shiz ton.
Yes.
That's a lot of keywords.
5 extra keywords.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I would expect when he levels up, he
Quick
like
attack,
just goes off.
Lifesteal, elusive,
Scout.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm thinking about him wrong. Because I was thinking about him in a sense of he's not going to do a lot early on.
Well, okay, so let's look at a normal turn 4 scenario. You played something on turn 2, maybe a goat. Playing Targons, you're running like 3 Pale Cascades. You're probably running like maybe a couple Sunblessed Vigors. You're running other things to target, right? He comes down on turn 4 and he attacks. He has Overwhelm, Barrier, Faded, 4/2. You're not killing him. Maybe you block, get rid of Barrier, and then you throw something at him, like a Mystic Shot or Thermo Beam. Maybe. And maybe it works, but it probably doesn't. And then you have to assume you're probably going to target him once when you play him, or at the very least, you're going to target him with an actual spell the following turn. Pantheon will be a 5/3 most of the time you play him, or the turn after you play him, he'll be a permanent 5/3 with an effect.
No. Here's the problem.
Okay.
5 different rounds.
Yeah.
You're not targeting an ally on turn 1.
No. And you're probably not doing it on turn 2.
Probably not doing it on turn 2.
Mhm.
So now, best case scenario, you're starting on turn 3. So that means turn 8, he levels up.
I'm thinking less about the level up. I want to talk about the level 1 first. The level up is insane. If you get
so I was thinking that like he's kind of level up or nothing.
Okay. I think he's good regardless. If I were playing a faded deck and there was a 4-mana 4/2 with Overwhelm, Barrier, and Faded, I would play that card. It's just a fall.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he is protected on his turn with Barrier, and then on the following turns, you have a bunch of protection spells. And again, if what is it? If the ability if Faded was like as many times as you target him, you get +1/+1, I would be all over this card.
This card would
Like,
be
it'd be a good night.
if he's so good.
But yeah, I don't know. What do? You just like throw in resources at him consistently to try and so like okay, so let's it goes to so you hit them for 4, let's say.
Sure.
And
Or
that's
let's not underestimate Barrier on your opponent's turn.
okay. Yeah.
Just want to throw that in there. Not like it's insane or anything, but just some decks, Barrier on your opponent's turn completely shuts them down.
The problem I have is that his toughness is so low.
It's very low.
And there's so many ways to pop a Barrier right now.
Yes.
And it's like, they come in with some like a bunch of dirtily 2-power things, and like, are you gonna throw them in front and risk like your Barrier getting popped? And then okay, maybe you have a protection spell, and then now go to your next turn. I guess he'll be bigger because you targeted him, so now he has 3 toughness, but no more Barrier. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's bad by any means, but because I could see him be like a card that's like, oh, okay, it's fine. Like, sometimes you let him live, sometimes you just beat down with him, sometimes you, like you say, you play him on opponent's turn, try and stunt some of their aggression, and then maybe sometimes you just let him die and you go in on some other card, and then maybe when you draw your second Pantheon, drop it later on, it levels, and then it's just berserk, because when it levels, it's absurd.
So what if some directions for Pantheon? Like, because if Pantheon levels, you kill them, right? Like Pantheon, if you, he's gonna be attacking for like 8, because you probably targeted him a few times, maybe less, right? But he's got like 8 keywords at the least. It's gonna be nuts. But let's talk about some directions Pantheon decks can go. You could do a Zoe Pantheon, protect the queen type strategy. Things like Sunblessed Vigors, Mentors, Goats. Add in whatever region you want. Maybe Ionia. You have Twin Disciplines. You have Spirit's Refuge. You have Palms. You're on your Bastions. That's pretty cool.
Dude, yeah.
You can pair them with Lee.
I think for Pantheon to be good, what we really need to see is some 1 and 2 drops that proc it. Some 1 and 2 drops that either give you a 0 or 1 mana spell that you can use like immediately. If you can start leveling him up from turn 1, now we're talking. Because now like turn 5, turn 6, or 7, you could level him up, and that's legit.
You know what card's great with Faded? Because I'm thinking I was now kind of on the Ionia Targon Faded. Sonic Wave is insane.
Oh, you get to target it twice. Oh, but it only counts once then.
Yeah, well, you target 2 different things. You give 1 challenger.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that I like.
Yeah.
That I like.
Just brainstorming. I think Pantheon has a ton of potential.
We never really see these kind of keywords all put together.
Yeah. Also, another card that will only ever get better.
Yes. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think that's where I stand on Pantheon. I think he needs support. I think he needs some more cards to make him really good. And I mean, once he is, he's going to be absolutely insane.
It's going to be
once
nuts.
You can level him like turn 7, turn 6.
Yeah. Turn 7 is gross.
Yeah, and that's not undoable.
That's not too much to ask. You will level Pantheon on turn 7 on your best games.
Yeah, and there will also be some decks that Pantheon, like, they just can't deal with Pantheon in heal, just like get them.
Yeah, you just run like Freljord, Targon, Zoe, Pantheon, and you just have like Troll Chance and Elixir of Irons. You're just like, I'm gonna get there. He's gonna level. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, but then there'll be a lot of decks also that'll just be like, that's
Punish.
adorable. Look
Comment.
at
Yeah,
you.
no,
Look at you targeting your stuff and using your mana
It's not
every
good.
single
Yeah.
turn.
But
And
it'd
I'm
be
just
funny.
sitting here
Someone will build it.
waiting.
It will be me.
Yeah.
I will build it.
Super. I like the card. It looks super fun, and I want to play with it. I'm just like, I'm talking strictly from a competitive standpoint. What I think will happen. Again, though, we have not seen all the cards, and I imagine for sure we'll see some enablers. They almost always let have champ spells have cards around them. Actually, we got one more. Actually, Pantheon's
spell. That's important.
Spell,
which I think is pretty good.
I think it's quite good. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a 2-mana slow shield vault. Grant an ally +1/+1, triggers faded, and stuns an enemy. Strong effect. Very
strong. Yeah. So a stun, as we know, is a very strong effect for 2 mana, and then triggering faded and granting +1/+1. That's a lot for 2 mana. You're basically giving a faded unit +2/+2, and you're stunning one of their units.
Very good.
I'll take that.
Very
good.
Those. Yeah.
Those are the kinds of cards that I'm talking about. You need a lot more stuff like that. And once you got them, this faded deck will take off.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out.
Yeah, Hush comes back. I'm excited about Pantheon. One of the first things I did was I went back and checked Kennon's spell to see if I could target my allies with it.
Can you?
No. I was like, can I 0 mana target my ally with Mark of the Storm? You cannot.
Oh yeah.
It probably wouldn't be good anyway, but I'm with you. Like if there's ever a 0 mana pump spell or 0 mana spell that you want to target your allies with, that's like in a region that's good, and there's like a couple faded cards, it would be nuts.
Yeah, and I think it'll get there because like they're not just gonna give us these cards and be like, here's not anything to go with them. They typically kind of like package it together. What do you think with what's her name, Ari?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Ari's gonna look like?
A fox.
All right, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys again next week. Hope you have a fantastic. Make sure you tune in. Seasonals tournament.
Let me know in the comments if you made it all the way to that joke, because there's gonna be like 6 people that made it this far in the video, and I want to know what you guys thought because I thought it was hilarious.
I enjoyed it.
Ari, I thought was going to have to deal with her charm. Have you played against Ari in League? Or have you seen her? Okay, so basically Ari's kit is her ultimate has 3 dashes. She dashes around. And then her E, which is like her ability, like her R and her E are like the abilities that she's like known for. And her E throws out a little heart in a direction. And if it hits somebody, they stop whatever they're doing and slowly walk towards you for like a couple seconds.
Oh, she's the one that does that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's so many skins. I can't keep them all straight.
And so I thought Ari was going to have to deal with her charm. But because of Kennon, I'm assuming she will be self-recall and they'll base it off of her ultimate instead. So I think she's going to be a 4 to 5 mana champion. Because
oh, really?
We need a payoff for the archetype. So either it's 4 to 5 mana champion or it's a 3 mana backline champion.
Is she considered like a squishy unit?
She's a mage assassin. She's one of the only like hybrid mage assassins in League of Legends.
I just assumed she would cost 2 or 3 mana because she's little.
Because she's itty bitty tiny.
She's
it could be. But I think you could do more with a 4 mana champion than you can with a 3 mana champion.
Also, we've had enough 3 mana champions.
There's a lot.
I feel like there's a lot.
And I can't even play my favorite one.
Which one's your favorite one?
Aphelios.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, poor guy. I like that there's another 1 mana one. I enjoy the different mana costs. I like 1 mana. I really want the monastery that creates the recall every turn to be good, which I assume might see play. I'm
glad we get to play Fate Blade Twirler.
Which one's that?
That's the Yasuo card, the 2 mana 1/3 with quick attack that grants +2/+0 every time you bounce something. Bounce or stun something.
Oh,
that card's really good. You just couldn't play it in anything.
Yes. Yeah, I gotten bodied by that card before for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could totally see that card seeing play. Like once you pump it once, it's like really good.
Yeah, just goes off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, as we were wrapping up here,
it's like an hour.
Yeah. Again, for anyone that heard Bay's joke, please comment.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let us know what you
comments so
thought
we
about
know.
the joke in the comments.
Also, though, did you notice that I won our bet from last week?
Oh no. Oh, the Scion bet?
The Scion bet.
Yep, you did win the Scion bet. Scion put 7 copies?
7 copies.
7 copies?
Yeah.
I'm very surprised actually, because Scion was not good against the field I saw.
What do you think of Scion going into the top 32? Because Scion's supposed to be good in the Zed Poppy, right?
Slightly.
That's the thinking.
Very slightly. Unless you tech it very hard. But it's very weak to Lee, and it's very weak to Thralls, which I expect to be 2 of the most popular archetypes. And I expect them to be played together a lot. And that's a big problem. It's like, you can have one bad matchup, but if you have 2 bad matchups or 3 bad matchups in a lineup that you expect these decks to be played together, usually the indicator that they're going to be played together is they have the same weakness. So like Lee and Thralls both really want to ban Poppy Rally. So it makes sense to put them in a lineup together along with a third deck that maybe wants to ban Poppy Rally. Because then you have that like shared weakness that you get rid of. And then hopefully only play your good matchups, right? And so there's just entire lineups that destroy Scion, but the ones that don't lose to Scion really hard. And that's why people bring it, I think.
Right. How's the Scion Plunder matchup? I've heard people say
it's
both.
Very slightly Plunder favored.
Yeah. Not surprised. Like, honestly, at this point, I don't think anything beats Plunder. Like, even the decks that beat Plunder, I'm like, nah, do you?
Is it really, though?
Do you really? Because I've seen I've seen evidence to the contrary.
Yep.
Like,
it happens.
Did you fumble for a turn?
Yeah.
One of your turns not work out quite right?
Oh, you're favored against Plunder? Oh, well, what if they got the attack token? You know, like,
yeah.
What if they're attacking you on 1? Then are you favored against Plunder?
What if their hand is warning shot, 1-drop, 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 like, and then they go boop, 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 boop. And,
they just
like,
level Gangplank on 5 and attack you, and you're like,
yeah.
In my Plunder experience.
What if they steal exactly this card and this card from you, both your rallies?
In the league, the Runeterra Academy League, I was sitting there and I was like, oh, we just killed him this turn. It's super easy, blah, 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 blah. And so I go and I put lethal on Lee, and then they hush him, and I was like,
yeah. I remember the first time that happened to me, I was like, GG here, grabbing your keg with my Thrall. Good night.
Yeah, you're like,
and I was like, oh. Actually, I forget what it was. It was, they sharp-sighted, so I forget what the heck the actual thing was. It was probably, I was attacking with elusive, and they like sharp-sighted blocked or something, and I was like,
this is stupid. Yeah.
I did not see that coming at all. Speaking of the league, our team is 2-0. Majin is 0-2. Team going to be renamed to Jason's Drive Majin to School, because Jason Satial and I got him up on our shoulders. That's okay though. I'm glad that you let us have this one this week. That was nice. I
figured you guys needed a win.
I needed a win. I wanted to feel
let's let you guys
useful in some way. It's been a while, so I appreciate that. And then you will be expected to carry for the rest of the season, obviously.
Yep, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the league's fun, but we are like, this is like an hour and 15-minute long video, so we should probably
we gotta wrap it.
We'll talk about it next week.
Tomorrow, what time does season start? I want to say 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Pacific. I should know. I am on it. I'm pretty sure, yes. 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern. It will start 5 rounds, single elimination. Majin Bay wins $10,000 again. Yeah, second choice. Obviously. It's slightly better for me if you win, though. So
slightly.
Yeah. He can come in second.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be super cool.
That'd be so good. Do we know for the brackets? No. Is that a possibility?
We know our first round matchups. We don't know anything else.
Ooh, exciting, man. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. Make sure you tune in.
Yep.
It's gonna be on the official Runeterra Twitch channel, and then like in all the languages all over the freaking place. All right. Well, that's it for us. Watch out for the announcement for our $8,000 tournament series. So excited for that. We'll see you guys hopefully in those tournaments and next weekend, all the good stuff. Peace.